Or if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. Going over some Street Fighter 6, I was about to say 5, footage that I saw. Just, God, it's like a curse that I am right so much. But what did I say? A couple of things I said before. I'm like, dude, try the green Slimer rush and juggles with all these things. It probably changes juggle properties. What are we going to see? It changes juggle properties. I also said I'm very interested to see that people are probably going to start doing combos, with the parry into the green Slimer rush because it's going to cost less meter, give you more opportunities, and it's less meter or cost less meter, gives you more juggle opportunities, maybe even the same juggle opportunities that the EX move would have given you with less meter. And this actually shows us, and it's going to show something else too. Again, it's like a curse being so smart to be able to look at a game for 5 seconds and be like, this shit is going to be possible, right? So we see this dude here, right? Boom. He tries to juggle. It doesn't juggle, right? Blah, blah, blah. But what do we see here? Boom. He does the whiff parry thing into drive rush, which I said, why aren't people trying this? I'm sure it works. You know what I mean? People are going to start doing this in combos for bigger combos. Obviously, it only costs 1 bar instead of the EX, but then it goes boom. You see it juggles, then that juggles. Then this is something else I want to show, though, because it goes to what I was talking about. I want to see people cancel the first hit of a juggle move, right, to see if it fucks with the properties like some other games. Because if we watch this, right, boom, it looks like a couple of the hits go through the guy, and it only hits 3 times. Then it hits. So from looking at that, what I gather is, yes, there is somewhat of a juggle limit in the game. Despite you being able to, you can use the system to give yourself more juggle hits, unless maybe the hitbox was just that bad. Or Luke, right? Luke. Shows how much I've watched the game. Luke's hurt box was too small. Maybe the few hits went away. So that's why I was saying, from that, it looks like obviously we can extend our juggle meter, all this kind of shit that I said with green Slimer. You whiff the parry stuff into it. Actually, and even on that topic, I would be interested to see, especially with moves like Ryu's EX Palm Strike that put you in a juggle state. I'd be interested in, once people start playing the game more, to see, just what is the damage comparison. You know what I mean? Besides actually using an EX bar or trying to fit in, do you have enough time to fit in the whiff parry dash, the green slime or whatever? What is the actual, maybe you get more damage for doing green slime or stuff with less meter if you can fit it into all these combos, right? But talking about that juggle thing, because this is something I was mentioning before, right? When I was talking about that Tekken vs. Street Fighter, that bug that I found, there's normally a juggle limit in that game, right? But if you do a 2-hit move and you cancel the first hit of the move into a special move to then continue your juggle, that first move, because it is counted as a singular move, it does not count for the rest of the combo. So again, I don't know why no one has tested this, because again, baby steps. You know what I mean? When I say how you were able to predict the game, it's actually very easy. Go off precedents that we already know work. Use a little bit of, common sense, and use baby steps. We see that this works like this. We see that this works like this, blah, 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 right? Correct? So we know the properties, this, blah, blah, blah. So the point was, green slime or rush, whatever. We know 2-hit moves count as one singular move. So maybe you juggle with a move like Ryu's Axe Kick. Ryu's Axe Kick, the properties are fulfilled for the whole singular move, which is 2 hits. But if you cancel the first hit, then say into the EX Palm Strike, whatever the fuck you're doing, can you then, does the game technically not count that you juggled with a move beforehand because you did not do the full move? Do you get what I'm getting at? So then you can then juggle with another normal, where normally you're not supposed to. Does this make sense? It's very obvious to me. Like I said, why not just show footage, show a couple different situations where you tried and it did not work? That's how I would be testing the game. It seems such a very simple thing, right? And I still haven't seen anyone do green slime or rush to jump combos. Does it just not exist now? It was showed during the very first beta. someone green, they jumped out of a green Slimer rush. So I would assume, again, for a move that does a lot of stun, say maybe Ryu's stand roundhouse on counter hit, whatever punish counter, whatever the fuck terminology they're using in this game. Maybe you have some weird Slimer rush green combos, you know what I mean? Slimer rush roundhouse where to jump in attack, boom, that does more stun. Then does that actually combo to the brushing fierce, whatever? And of course, we've already seen, or if you've been looking at the footage, like I said, why are people not trying to juggle with green Slimer rush? We can see now, yes, it does work how I assumed it did. You can juggle after it. You can even juggle after it and then do a normal, right? So I'm assuming there's anti-air situations. You anti-air a guy with something, green Slimer rush combo, blah, 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 right? And then, of course, there's more step fours when we just get into the whole jumping and canceling your recovery, you know. Step by step, you know what I mean? Take some baby steps, but there's precedence that you can fuck up an entire game with jumping in, like, you know, canceling the recovery of your jump with something, right? You know, take it step by step. Just such like, you know, you guys have had the game for a whole day now, and just a lot of stuff is just still not being tested that I see, right? I mean, you know, I do see Ryu. It looks like he can link off of his stand roundhouse without a counter hit. So thinking about that, I automatically think back to Street Fighter 4 stuff. If you ever watch all those Street Fighter 4 videos that I did for Guy had a lot of particular combos that you could do with jumping in. You hit the guy, he does a stand roundhouse. Because it hits high, the guy rolls back his head, and then when the move hits, it hits meaty, and then you can do bigger combos than normal. Especially in a game like Street Fighter 6 where it looks like so many attacks, high attacks can even hit the opponent ducking. So even that might be even more logical now. Jump in combos, stand roundhouse hits a little bit later, bigger, more immediate advantage, bigger combos, that kind of stuff, right? Seems like obvious stuff to test to me. Still haven't seen people testing drive rush with the fucking special moves. I want to see some special moves tested. Maybe there's particular special moves with it. I don't know. Test it. Just show some proof of concept that it doesn't work. Seems simple. The only thing I can think for, if no special moves work, if there's no juggle opportunities, anti-air hits, whatever, I am still interested in what does Ken's running flaming hurricane kick really do? Because it looked like it didn't do any more damage than regular hurricane kick, and you can already DP off of that for more damage. So is it really just for a random mix-up situation, I guess? Or I did hear that Ken's hurricane kick in this game does not normally go through fireballs. So does Ken's running flaming hurricane kick then go through fireballs? I'm just wondering what is the logic of the move personally. That's what I'm thinking about that move. I want to see some people. Oh, I haven't seen anybody. I think they said that burnout state, it does +4. So looking at the frame data then, like a medium or something, whatever it should be, or whatever, maybe it was a hard, I was casually looking at the frame data, whatever it was, the burnout state. I'm still looking for someone to do some weird string with Ryu comboing in palm strike, combo palm strike, on the block. Is it tight enough that the guy can't get out of it unless they have a reversal? And since they're in burnout state, they don't have parry to get out of it, or drive impact or anything, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering just how real that is. I want to see some people put the opponent in burnout state, do some palm strike loops. See how tight is that? Palm strike loops, you know what I mean? See how tight that is? I want to see if you can actually get a charge after a stagger or the guy stumble. I want to see if people, do you have time? It looks like it might potentially be possible. You know what I mean? Guy staggers down. Do you have enough time hitting the guy with something, an EX palm strike, to get a charge and then hit the guy? Or the level 2 super, you can OTG with it. Do you have enough time to technically link a charge with something off of those, right? Is there some kind of theoretical situation where you can get that? Again, just God, I don't think I've seen I haven't seen people do full Ryu chain combos off of juggles or anything like that. Like, I want to see some more footage of the full property of the move, of his full chain combos. Not really seeing that, so. Again, the footage that I've seen so far, you know what? I look at it and people are going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's got so many views. Like, wow, I can't believe Ryu could do that. And the stuff that we've seen so far, God, isn't it just stuff I'm like, oh, geez, I bet you can do that. That doesn't look too complicated. I was like, 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Just looking at the email, yeah, you could probably do that. So anyway, yeah, I'm still looking forward. I want to see some more stuff that I've talked about actually be tested. I want to see footage of it not working, so we have like precedence that all this stuff does not work in these situations. You know, then you can like, okay, move it aside. We've tried multiple different scenarios with this. This does not work. Now we have a precedent, more foundational knowledge of what works and what doesn't work. Because the stuff that I actually have seen tested that I've talked about, it works. So, whatever. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, and like I said, I feel like the Kimberly thing is such a obvious thing to test too. She jumps off of you and it just barely doesn't combo and she like hops over you. Why not try that in Drive Rush? I know I forgot try some Drive Rush stuff into Drive Impact and try some burnout states trying to combo into the Drive Impact, whatever it is. I did see they saw that if you do combos on that are true combos on block after Drive Impact, that it doesn't cause a wall splat and or something like that. Is that what they said? So I'm not sure how I feel about that because how many guaranteed real setups are there? I don't think you should be punishing just one character. And obviously, I would think that, you know what I mean, if the guy had meter, you'd be able to alpha counter out of it anyway. So I'm not sure how I feel about that unless during the development stage they just found something where you're just looped to infinity and there's nothing you could do. Otherwise, again, I'm not for, overbalancing a game like that unless the developers found something that there's just no thing you could do against this, then that's why we put that. I don't think that's good game design unless there's some loop that they found. But again, it's hard to imagine that when you can alpha counter and everything like that. There's supposed to be certain powerful tactics in games. So support the channel. Thanks.